Start na mag-record. Okay. Okay, so this is an example class of Python program using blocks. Okay. So, tatanggalin ko muna to. This is an if statement block. Input-output lang tayo. Let's say for example, you want to print, hello world, diba? That is the very basic for programming. So, just go to here, just color coding naman to. This is color coding. So for text, this is green, light green. Click here, and this is a plain quote unquote. If you want to use that, but here you can go select this one. This is the print and drag it here. So if I will put here, you can change this to hello world. Okay. So exclamation point. So this is very basic. As you can see here, this is now the equivalent Python code for this block. So then we have here the play button. If you click this one, it will display here. So you can see here hello world. Okay. So what if we want to print hello world 3 times? So it means we will be using loop. So let's try to, and if you will select the language class here at the drop down menu or combo box, you have the JavaScript. So this is the equivalent code for JavaScript. So you can also learn what is the print code for JavaScript. So perhaps you are familiar with the window.alert function. So this is object method. Window is the object, that the method is alert. It means it will alert the browser to print whatever inside that argument. Okay, so that is window.alert. Okay. So actually this Blockly, yung platform na to, is using this. So for example, we use Python and then we click the print. This one class, itong ano na to, block na to, this is a window. This is a JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript yan. Because we are using the Blockly using browser. So ito, di ba, hello world. Yung window na to, this is a window alert. May okay button, this is a JavaScript. Okay. So also for PHP, so the same, as you can see here, almost the same. The code for Python and PHP is almost the same. Okay. So we want class to print hello world 3 times. So let's go to loops. So you can see here different types of loops. So let's say this is a while loop. You can also for each this one, or this one, let's say we use this very basic example of a for loop. So we'll put print hello world inside. Okay, and then this one is just a variable. So count with, let's say, variable I. Okay. Let's say you can change it to num if you have already variables in your, you have already created, for example, you can create variables here. So create variables. Let's say for example, hello yung variable natin. Then okay. So nandito na yung variable hello. So there are a lot of variables here. So if you drag this down, so you can select this variable hello. So for hello is equal to 1 to, let's say, 3 by 1. This one is, it means increment by 1. As you can see here, you go up to Python or PHP. So you can now see here for, this is a for loop. Hello is equal to 1 initial, or you can put that 0. Say you can say 0. So hello is equal to 0 semicolon. Hello less than equal to 3. And then hello increment by 1. So we have already implemented the very basic syntax of for loop using Blockly blocks, using this block. And then print, right, enclose with inside the parentheses hello world. Single, most of the time, right, if we print string in programming, we enclose that with double quotation. But you can see here in PHP, this is PHP, you can also enclose a string using single quotes. Okay, single quotes. For Python, it uses only single quotes. Ito kasi in this example in Python, it uses the shortcut version of for loop using in range, this one. But for sa longhand, di ba, the syntax, click PHP. So you can see here class the longhand syntax implementation of for loop. Then print hello world, we have end that with semicolon. So just like a C++ or C, all statement in PHP also ends with semicolon. So that is why class, the prerequisite for PHP, if you want to be a web developer using PHP, at least you have studied C++ or Java. Okay. So there is also Lua, a shortcut, also uses shortcut programming codes, and Dart. So just like a C++ with main here. So it is the same. This Dart language here is almost same with C++. So it has a main function, and then we have the implementation of the for loop here. The same with C. Okay. Now, if we will play this now, okay. Um, let's try. So we have seen here hello world. The problem is isa lang siya. It means that if you click here, this is the first. So we have then okay, click OK. Second, click OK. Third, click OK. Fourth, click OK. So it means that this one, since we start from 0, hello world here will be printed 4 times. So let's change this to 1. It means that hello world here will be printed 3 times. So we run it again. So this is the first iteration. If we click OK, second iteration, and then click OK again, that is the third iteration. So because this is typically, basically a JavaScript. Then we click again OK, it will end the loop. It means that hello world has printed 3 times. So what if class we want to have an input? Say for example, we say have a very basic input. So we have here logic, we have if statement here. So let's try to get an if statement. Let's say our variable is age. So I will put it here. So anyway, let's delete that. So we need to create class this one. In the logic blue, we can set this one. So because we want to set a logic using, right? So if you can see here, there are logic here, greater than, less than, equal. Then we will put variable here. So our variable is age. We put variable here inside, so age. And then equal to, let's say, numbers. You go to math. This is a number, very basic number. This one is of arithmetic operation, addition, subtraction, and so on and so on. There are also sign here, sine, cosine, and so on and so forth. Round, there are also aggregate function here. So this one is very basic for number. So click nyo yan, and then you drag it here. Okay, so let's go to Python. Okay, so no value for age. So if age is equal to, let's say for example, this by the way, for Python class, the equal sign is double equal. Okay, as you can see here. But for, let's say, Dart, equality pala to, since this is logic. Okay, that is logic. So what if we want to change that not logic. Let's try this one. This is all arithmetic. So gagamit ng logic. Say equal sign. This is list. If you for array, ito yung gagamitin, yung list. So pwede naman to. Okay din naman to. Equal. And then to, let's say 18. So yung age 18. If your age is 18, you will print. You go to text, get again this block, yung print block. Put it here. And then we will print, kung 18 na, di ba, you are a lady. Dalaga na, di ba? 18 na. Okay. So, this if statement will, mag-work na ba to? Itong if statement natin na to? If we run it, does this work already? Yes or no?
Hindi pa, sir.
Not yet, right? Because we don't have an input, right? We have a condition, we have a print, but there's no input that will trigger to print this based from this condition. So what we'll do is we will set, let's say variables. Let's say this one. Let's just set. Patong lang natin dito dot block. Okay, hello. And age, right? And then we set that to, so we have here the number, because you can use this one. So if age is 18, let's say 18, right? As you can see here, age, initial value now of age is 18. And then it will print you're a lady. So let's change this one to greater than equal, right? If age is greater than equal 18, you are a lady. So you can also put here another condition, 18 to, let's say, 20, in between 18 to 20, you are a lady. Kasi pag, halimbawa, pag 60 years old na, let's say, senior na yon, senior citizen. Okay, so we have now here the input set. The input here class initially is not user input. Initial value only, we set to 18, the age. So this variable will be the reference of this age in our condition. So if we run this, so you are a lady, right? Okay, so working yung code natin, yung blocks natin. So what if we want to set the age coming from a user? What if coming from a user? User input, hindi yon. So how do we create inputs in Blockly? Okay, so we can set here the not functions, variables. This one, I think it changed. Hindi yan. Wait lang. Variables. Okay, set again. Okay, set age to, let's create a text. Dapat, di ba, mayroon tayong, there should be a prompt. This one, so let's get this one, prompt. So put it here. Okay. So the prompt is text with message. So nakita nyo here, let's go to Python. Okay, so we have now here the row underscore input function. Okay, that is in Python. So to create, di ba, in C++, it is scanf or cin. Right? This one, HTML window prompt for Dart. For PHP, read line. Okay. So let's go to Python and we type here, enter your age, right? That is our prompt. Okay. So the prompt now is here, age is equal to text prompt, enter your age. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's try to run this if this will work. Okay, so here it calls us, the user, attention to input age. If we put, let's say 10, and then click OK, there is no output, right? So because after our condition, it will only print if the input is greater than 18. If we run it again, let's say 18, click OK, and it will print you are a lady. Okay, so this is a very basic application class of Blockly blocks. Right? Using this one, we have if statement, input output. So you can also choose what language, and automatically the Blockly will change or translate that into that particular language. So PHP, JavaScript. Okay, so this is for JavaScript, window.prompt, enter your age. Okay, so this is typically a window prompt. Cancel. So far, so we have used this, the very basic loop. So we have the input output using this one, set age. So this one is a variable, or these are variable names. The I here, variable I here is the default. So that is the default of variables, this one. So you can delete this. By the way, for else class, so you can, there, or if you can see here, the condition here, the logic is blue. So if you click here, there is no else statement here. So this one is, let's say, a ladder, if ladder. So there is no else block here. So nasaan yung ano? If that is the case, in other blocks here that you can see, where it's a list, there is no array, right? Only list. So, or other part of the syntax that is not on the default blocks. For example, else for the if. So mayroon ditong this one, parang yung icon settings, you just click this. So you can see there is an else if or else. Okay? So, or another if. So nandyan siya. So click else. Okay? So nandyan na siya, meron na siyang else. Mulang ulit siya. So else, let's print you are a kid. You are bata pa. So let's try if this will work. This else. Okay, so that is the if else now. So okay. So 12 years old, and then okay. So you are a kid. Okay, so that is how if else work with Blockly. And set age, this one is our input blocks, and then this is our prompt. For text, there are a lot of text blocks here, class, that you can use. There is uppercase if you want it to be in uppercase, or lowercase, title case. Okay. So you can use this one. So there are a lot of blocks. So if you will be familiar, class, if you will be familiar with all of this, i-practice nyo lang. So you can create drag and drop codes in Java, JavaScript, in PHP, and Python. Okay, so if you, sabi nga, if you practice this and you're familiar with Blockly, you can easily create Python codes without typing it. You just have to drag and drop these tiles or these blocks. Okay, so in our discussion for data structure in our final period, so we'll have a demonstration on some of the data structures, very basic lang, in Blockly using array. So array and then other data structure. Okay. So we will demonstrate this by the final period. So I'll just demonstrated to you, class, the very basic of input-output in Blockly using if-else statement. So if you want to have another else, right? Or else if else if ladder, so you can just put it here, right? So magagamit nyo na siya. Okay? Else if. So you just have to drag it here. So since once yan, this is internal, nasa loob siya. So ito, if else, and then else if, lagay mo dyan. Ito yung lagay mo dyan. Lalagay siya dyan. Okay? Ayan siya. So if you want to remove it, punta ka lang dito, tanggalin mo lang siya. So if else na lang siya. Okay? And then, I have also demonstrated to you the for loop, this one. This is the for loop. We have also do while and while loop here. There's also break or continue, and so on and so forth. And then functions, we will also demonstrate this. So variables, very basic naman to. Okay, so that's all for today, class. Do you have still questions? Questions?
Sa ganyan po ba yung exam natin?
Ganyan, wala namang exam na ganyan.
Ay, di
Ano lang yun, ang exam natin, LMS, multiple choice lang naman, true or false. Tsaka meron ding fill in the blanks. Okay, I will stop the recording.